We have now learned via the Gray Lady, the New York Times, that there's a whole lot of stuff out there now. Well, a lot of this we already knew, but the New York Times dropping a bombshell story with all the juicy details around the Deshaun Watson life and times, booking massage appointments with, they claim, the New York Times, over 60 women that they were able to verify. They went frame by frame as they analyzed all of the details, including one woman saying that she was massaging Watson. And again, I got to clean this up for the radio. But Watson was offering her steak. It was a tube steak, and he apparently wanted it cleaned, and so she didn't really want to do that. And so that was one of the revelations among many in this latest story. So let us discuss the question: how does the New York Times story transform the Deshaun Watson case? Is it a little or a lot? I'm going a lot on this. I've got Pandora's Box, bootleg, and hot shot. And we're going to tie all of these things together, and we are going to make a Swedish massage, which is the kind of massage Deshaun Watson doesn't like because it's not involving enough touchy-feely. All right, so this New York Times story is a game changer. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the New York Times. I don't read the New York Times, but it's not about me, right? And the reason this is a big deal, the Watson story has been confined as a sports topic. And for most people, it is just subterfuge, right? We have talked about it regularly, but we are not the mainstream media. I'm doing an overnight radio show. We are not part of the mainstream. The mainstream is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's mainstream media. And they, as a whole, have put this story on the back burner. It's not on the front burner. It's on the back burner. And now Pandora's box has been opened. The story, to use lingo that Deshaun Watson will like, the story has been unzipped from the sports department. The New York Times readership is not meathead fanboys. No. If you're a sports fan, why would you read the New York Times? There's no reason to read the New York Times. And this is a crowd that is an intellectual crowd. A lot of woke folk, political activist types. Those are the crowd that reads the New York Times. They're getting bug-eyed because I'm assuming the position, a lot of these people were unaware of the details. They might have heard about the Deshaun Watson story. Maybe they knew that he signed a big contract in Cleveland, but they did not know the tawdry details that were all laid out in a very lengthy article in the Times. Now, part B of this, what was the biggest revelation in the reporting here, the latest reporting on Deshaun Watson? So I would say the depths that the Texans went to indirectly, some would say directly, I'll say indirectly, facilitate Deshaun Watson. Listen, this is his fetish. The Texans are like, you're our quarterback. This is your fetish, and you want to mess around with a bunch of massage therapists? We're going to help you do it. That's the way I read the story. The Texans franchise aiding and abetting this activity. Now, that does not mean that Deshaun Watson gets a pass here at all. It just shows you that the idea that somehow in this modern era with technology and everyone tracking everyone else, the days of the star player getting whatever they want in terms of this kind of thing are not over, not by a long shot, right? What the Texans did here, if this reporting is accurate, is they cleared the path to run out of their playbook for Watson the naked bootleg. And we know, based on these massages, he loves being naked for the bootleg. All right, now the Texans football team, the Houston football team, have provided Watson a membership at a private hotel and club, and that was chronicled in this story. There's also some guy I've never heard of. You probably haven't either. The Texans director of security, Brent Nakara, I believe is his name. I don't know who this is. He is not painted in the best light in this story, as he is said to be the guy that left the non-disclosure agreement in Deshaun Watson's locker Now, why would you do that? You would only do that if you wanted to help protect Deshaun Watson as he continued to run his own Milwaukee Brewers-style sausage race with the random massage therapist. And so this director of team security for the Texans, who I was reading about the guy, his profile's online. You can Google him. And he was a special agent in the U.S. Secret Service for 13 years. So this is somebody that went from protecting the president of the United States to now protecting the quarterback from getting perverted massages. That's his new gig in life. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. He's helping your favorite NFL star fiddle with massage therapists. Now, as for the math on this, the Times story claims that Watson, they could verify at least 66 different women in 17 months that gave him massages. Now, that works out, using back-of-the-napkin MALLER math, that works out to an average of 3.88 massages per month. So, there's usually 4 weeks in a month, right? So, once a week, give or take. Once a week, he got a nice massage, and sometimes a really nice massage. It's more likely than not that the number is much higher than that, to use more lingo that Watson would appreciate, that's just the tip of the spear, which is also something that Watson liked having massaged. Now, in this 24th lawsuit, we also learned that Watson got into the happy baby yoga pose. Now, I know the downward dog pose. I didn't know the happy baby yoga pose. Did you know the happy baby yoga pose? Are you aware? I did not know that. I had to look that up. I had to Google that. And, of course, then he demanded, and I'll clean this up because there's always kids listening. You'd think I'm on in the middle of the night. Why would kids be listening to this? But Watson got into the happy baby yoga pose, according to the latest lawsuit, and demanded the masseuse massaged between the twig and berries and his personal trash chute, right in that area. Now, last word here. So why is this? Thank you. Why is this latest story? Why is this giving the NFL big shots heartburn? I believe it is. All right. So why is that? Now, the reason is pretty simple. It's kind of obvious here. I think you know where I'm going with this, that they have had the rug pulled out from underneath. Roger Goodell, the most arrogant man in the world, is on the front lines here with the hotshot team. His underlings thought they had a line around the wildfire. It was contained. There was containment here. And they had kept the Watson story in the little sports realm. But now the New York Times has meddled in their affairs. And so now it's crossed over outside of the little sports world, and it's a towering inferno. Yet again, the NFL power brokers have to be flustered, hornswoggled. Right? Outside of hush money, this story is going to linger for years. And at this point, why would you even pay hush money? Every detail's already out there. Right? Now, Watson, there's 22 lawsuits that won't play out until the spring of 2023. So we got to get. We're only in June right now, so we got to get through the rest of this year, and then early after the Super Bowl in 2023, these things will be adjudicated. But there are 2 more lawsuits that are back to square one. So what does that mean? It means the clock is reset, and if the timeline stays the same, and these things get dragged out, I would assume that they'll wait until those other trials are over. They can then use what comes out of those trials as evidence and add it on to their own case. So we're looking at 2024 or 2025 and beyond. Now, some have argued that the other lawsuit, the latest lawsuit, is the real game changer. Could the 24th lawsuit against Watson lead to the Browns voiding the guarantees in his contract? Now, could is a weasel word. So could, sure, right? I could be named the new commissioner of the NFL. I could. I'm not, but I could. Now, will the Browns do that? I'm going to set the odds on this at plus 900, which implies a 10% chance. The Browns are all in, which is a game we used to play on the show, all in There is no going back. All right? This is not some kind of misunderstanding. If the Cleveland football team tried to void the contract, what do you think would happen? Ding, 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 ding. Another lawsuit, right? The Watson camp, his posse, would go to court and they would drag the case on and on and on and on, further elongating the story. Now, my favorite quote, looking back, based on all that we now know, my favorite quote from the bozos in Cleveland, Jimmy Haslam, bit of a con man himself there who owns the Browns. Look up his history. Jimmy Haslam was upset with Baker Mayfield. I remember Baker demanded a trade, and when the Browns acquired Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Haslam gave one of the great quotes that will live in infamy in the NFL circles. He said the Browns wanted a, quote, adult in the room at quarterback. An adult in the room. As long as that adult was doing the happy baby yoga pose, I think we're good on that. That is some comedy gold is what that is. That is a 10 plus. Plus.